and welcome everyone. I'm Veronika from Blue Star Crochet. I'm joined by my very good designer friend Hannah from Hanjan Crochet. We are so excited for you to be here. This has been a long time coming. We are so excited that this event is finally happening. So welcome to the Crochet Garments with Confidence Summit 2023. Let's put the year on there because there might be more. So it's going to be full-on weekend. Me and Hannah cleared our schedules for the entire weekend. There's no kids, no husbands, nobody who needs our attention because you guys are going to have our full attention the entire weekend. We are going to be joined by amazing crochet garment designers. We'll reveal who they are in a minute. We'll talk more about what's coming. But please, please, please don't forget to check out the page, which Hannah will show you just about in a second. And yeah, we're excited to kick things off. Me and Hannah have been squirreling away for months and putting all this together for you guys because we really, really want to give you the confidence to crochet garments, to wear them, to feel brilliant in them, to make them look nice, to make them fit, to style them perfectly. So let's shoot over to Hannah, who's going to show you where you need to be this weekend, nowhere else but on this page, because that's where everything is happening.
Come and join us. We have tried to make things as simple and straightforward as possible for you. So I'm going to flick over and show you this page here, which, I've already scrolled down too far. So basically it's our Crochet Garments with Confidence page, and this gives you all the information that you're going to need for this entire weekend. But also in a minute we'll talk to you about if you aren't free this weekend and would also like lifetime access, there is an option for you. But let's go with what we're doing this weekend. We are hosting with these amazing designers you see here. We have invited basically all of our friends, but also people that are really at the top of their game. They know exactly what they're talking about because we have designed over 500 garments between us. So they're going to absolutely tell you everything they know about all the different aspects of crochet garments. So the first job you need to do is come here and click here to reserve your seat. And you're going to pop your email address in, and that will let Veronika and I know that you're ready and you're going to join us. And then we will let you know every time something goes live and something is online, because we have all of this lined up for you. This is the summit schedule, as it were. So basically every hour during the day of this weekend, we're going to be exhausted, Veronika, aren't we? But
I think so.
I think about it, oh my gosh. But it's going to be so worth it. It's going to be so worth it. So Veronika and I are going to kickstart everything off, which is what we're doing now. And then we're going to take you through all the different aspects of crocheting garments. We're going to start, Veronika is going to begin here by talking about different types of constructions and styles of sweaters and garments, because I think that's really fundamental, isn't it? I mean, obviously you can talk more about it, Veronika, because you've obviously that's your subject. But it's so important, isn't it, to understand the logistics of how garments are made. And it's something that people don't necessarily understand until you actually start making one.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're going to talk about different garment constructions. I'm going to take you and show you the easiest way to make a garment, because that's where you want to be when you first start. So we're going to talk through the different construction styles. I'm going to show you, if you feel a little bit more confident, I'm going to show you how you can tweak the size, tweak the length, tweak the width. And we're going to talk about sweaters that we have to seam, sweaters that are seamless or relatively seamless. I'm going to show you different styles of yokes. It's going to be great.
Oh, fantastic. And the important thing to say for each of these, there is going to be a premiered video that will launch on YouTube. If you're going to choose to join us for the free version, which is that you can click on this bit that says click here to watch, and once that video premieres, you'll be able to pop over to YouTube, watch it there, and then following that video, Veronika and I will be going live. And if the designer is available on their slot, they'll be joining us as well. And we'll be doing a live question and answer session for you to, after you've watched the video, come and chat to us and talk to us about what you've enjoyed about the video, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, anything that you'd like to ask us about that topic, or about anything in garments, I suppose, really.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be here all weekend. So when it gets to that time, click there to watch the video. The video will pop up for you and you'll be able to see it on YouTube, and then come back to us for the live, and then we'll chat some more. And then an hour later, it will be me chatting about finding the perfect pattern to make and choosing the right size, and about ease, which I suddenly, when I filmed it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a massive topic.
Yeah.
It's like your measurements and picking the right size from a pattern, because like ease, I won't give the game away, but knowing how loose or tight a garment is going to be on you is really important before you start, so that you actually pick the right size to make. So yeah, there's a whole thing about there, and you get to see me just wearing a vest, so I measure myself. So that will be up next. And then Hortense, the wonderful Hortense from Knitting with Chopsticks, has joined us. She already had a whole thing about blocking, didn't she? Which is why we knew she had this amazing resource. And this is what we've done with all of the designers. We invited people because we knew that they were a specialist in that subject.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Hortense has got this amazing video to show you about blocking, because I know that's the thing that scares lots of people. It scared me for many years, I must
It's very often a step that is skipped sometimes, isn't it? But it's so important. And once you see the video what Hortense has filmed for us, when you see the difference between block and unblocked, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So that's with Hortense. And then next up is the lovely Brianna from Brianna K Designs, who specializes in garments that look like they're knitted, but they're actually crochet. And like the stuff, she calls them magical stitches because they literally are magical, honestly. And she's going to introduce you to that, because the other thing we want to do is show you the different stuff that's out there. Try new things. We want you to, we're aiming this at not only beginners, but people who are more experienced, who are ready for their next step. So we want this to be a whole spectrum of crocheters joining together to find out more, just to learn more.
Absolutely,
and then Brianna will be joining us live after that. And then Raylene from Itching for Some Stitching, who we absolutely adore. She has got a really, really comprehensive whole session and lesson on choosing the right yarn for your garment. And Raylene was so funny when she was researching all of this. She said to me, she said, like, Hannah, there's so much. There's just an entire course about this. And I was like, and each of the designers said that, didn't they? That they just had so much information they wanted to share, that they really found it tough to like tighten it down and put it into
stick to the
so choosing the right yarn for your garment, because it is different, isn't it, when it's something that you're going to wear, and it's really important to get it right.
Absolutely.
We have Claire from King and I, who again, she specializes, because she has her own yarn line, which is just beautiful. If you've never worked with it before, you absolutely should. She's talking about chunky yarn, and that's something that I really struggle with, and I tend to veer away. I don't know about you, Veronika. I veer away from chunky yarn for garments.
I do too. But looking at Claire's beautiful designs, I'm seriously tempted. I think that's going to be my next project, because Claire really shared some tips and tricks that I haven't heard before. So I have to say that I'm really, really tempted looking at Claire's brilliant designs and all the tips and tricks that she shared in her video.
Definitely. And it goes to show that we did pick the right people for the job, didn't we?
Absolutely.
I was like, oh, that's why we asked you. Yeah. And then we've got the lovely Sarah from Ned and Mimi, who is talking about gauge. And I know that Sarah has her own like mini course on this as well, but she's sharing a huge amount of information about gauge, because gauge and tension is something that people just avoid like the plague. And I completely understand why. Like sometimes it just baffles, doesn't it? And she talks so clearly about how to figure it out, how to change. It's all very well saying, oh, I haven't met the gauge, but like, what do you do about it? How do you meet the gauge when it's something so important as something that fits you? Well, do you know what Sarah tells you? She like completely explains it so clearly.
This is one of the brilliant reasons why we actually put this summit together, because when you just grab a pattern and it says this is the gauge of the sweater, you have to meet it. The pattern won't necessarily tell you what to do, and very often makers are, well, what do I do? You know, I've got too many stitches, I haven't got enough rows, it's coming out too big, it's coming out too small. So this is why we put all this information together, to give you guys the confidence to pick up the hook, grab the yarn, start making your very first sweater. Or even if you tried one before and it didn't go to plan, it ended up too big or too small, after you watch Sarah's video, you will exactly understand why, where you went wrong, and what to do to rectify that, and to make your very first garment.
That's the important thing, isn't it? It's like it's knowing not only what has gone perhaps a bit wrong, but what to do about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I had the first garment I ever made. I had never even heard of gauge. I had no idea what gauge was. Not a clue. And
Nope.
I had no idea. And I literally couldn't. I was like, I'm following the pattern. I'm using the right size hook. I'm just what? Why is this not the right size?
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, when you're making something like blanket or a cushion cover or anything like that, it doesn't really matter, does it? Gauge is not, although the pattern does state the gauge, but when it's a blanket or cushion cover, it doesn't really matter, does it? So this is where Sarah comes in, explaining the reason why it's so important when it comes to garments. Because, you know, if the finished blanket measures, you know, 120 by 120 centimeters and yours is 10-15 centimeters smaller or bigger, or it doesn't really matter. But when it comes to sweaters and cardigans, that really makes the difference. And Sarah's video is just brilliant, explaining all this and making sense of the gauge and the importance of gauge in crochet garments.
Definitely. And then, so that's Saturday. Gosh,
Yeah.
that's a lot. And then on Sunday, we're back, the two of us, to come and welcome you back to the second day. And then following straight on from that is me chatting about stitch inspiration. So I got really carried away with this one. I don't think that was much to talk about. And then I was like, oh yeah, there is. So I kind of had an idea of looking at different stitches, thinking about what yarns they work with, thinking about what that stitch will give you, what kind of fabric it will give you, and what you can do to kind of tweak things, how knowing about stitches will help you choose the right pattern. I kind of went off in lots of different directions, but hopefully to give you like a flavour of what also we as designers think about when we're choosing a stitch for a pattern. So that then hopefully that will help you then decide. And interestingly, we've both chosen to wear similar kind of open but textured sweaters, haven't we, today?
Yeah.
And that, I think with all these stitches, lots of them overlap. So you can have knit look ones that are also textured. You can have textured ones that are also open and lacy. You can have closed ones that are there's loads of overlap with different stitches. And also you can use different types of stitches in the same garment as well. And that's a really interesting thing to think about as well. So that's kind of more of an insight one into what we as designers do to achieve the fabrics that we want. So that will be on the Sunday. And then Sandra, the amazing Sandra from Nomad Stitches, if you haven't seen her colourwork garments,
Oh my God.
Oh my, it's like another level. They are absolutely amazing. So we asked her to talk about colourwork and how she doesn't get in a tangle. She absolutely guarantees she's never been in a tangle, and she will tell you how. So if you ever have been in a tangle, even not in garments, even just in colourwork, this is one you have to watch.
That is a take your notepad and pen and just write it down. Honestly, you have to watch this one.
Amazing video about all the different types of techniques, and she shows you them in context in her designs, and then explains exactly what it is, what it's good for, why it works, what it does to the fabric. Because there's so much, like, I feel like if you learn all of these things, you'll be so much more informed about what you're going to make, and you'll enjoy it so much more because you have that knowledge behind you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, and then as you're back caring for your creations. So take it away.
Yeah, well, I feel like this is an important topic to talk about, because, you know, you can grab a pattern, make your sweater, but then if you don't know how to care for it, chances are that it's not going to last you very long. And after the time and effort that you guys will put into making your own crochet sweaters or cardigans, it's really important to make them last as long as possible. So I'm going to talk to you about how to care for your garments. We talk about spot cleaning, we talk about hand washing, we talk about machine washing if possible. I'm going to take you through different fibers, that ones that can be washed, because there are a few that totally hate water. There are fibers that love water and they will withstand washing and they'll be completely fine. Then I've actually filmed a video washing my own sweater. So I'm going to literally I'm going to grab you and take you into my kitchen sink and I'm going to show you how to wash a sweater. I mean, it sounds simple, but honestly, it's not just the case of throwing it in a sink and, washing it and drying it. There is a bit of a science behind it, and I'm going to show you how to do all this to make your sweaters last as long as possible. We're going to then dry it together, and I'm talking about removing little bubbles and pills and all little different, different detergents you can use. They don't have to be shopboard. You can actually wash your sweaters with something that might be already lurking in your cupboard. So if you want to know more, you have to watch the video.
I love that. And we've tried to be really diverse, haven't we, with all the different video content and how we've done that. Some of these videos are us talking straight at you. Some are showing you us doing stuff with our hands. And it's just to try and make it all in context. So to show you that Veronika has a kitchen sink and that we do wash our stuff. We can't, we're real people, we're normal people. And this is what we have learned in all of our years of garment making. And we just want to share it all with you.
Absolutely.
And then next up, we have Joanne from the Crochet Project, who is an amazing designer. She has got a huge back catalogue of garment designs. And she's talking about creating wearable fabrics because this crosses over into so many different aspects that we've already talked about, doesn't it? But the main thing here is talking about creating the perfect drape for your garments, because it's all very well following instructions and say, but then if you're creating a stiff fabric that doesn't work for a garment, it's no use whatsoever.
No, I mean, nobody wants to be wearing a cardboard box, do we? So Joanne goes really in depth.
You need to create something that is soft, that's pliable, that's comfy, that's cozy, that's whatever your wearable needs to be. And Joanne talks brilliantly about that. And then, there's still more. We've still got more. The wonderful Michelle from Dora Does, she comes along and she talks about ribbing and using ribbing in crochet, because this is one of the pinch points I think that people, look, we both got ribs up here. People very often, I think, avoid making certain types of garments because they're like, I don't know how to do a join as you go ribbing. I don't know how to do a ribbing and then add stitches into it. I don't know. There's lots of fear around ribbing, I feel. And you don't need to have that fear anymore, because Michelle will talk you through the whole thing. It's really, really clever how she talks about it, isn't it? And how she talks skipping stitches and all this kind of stuff. To show you it's not as complicated as you might think.
She did a brilliant kind of hands-on video to actually show you. So if you want to bring a hook and a ball of yarn along to this video and just give it a little go while you're watching, feel free. It's really amazing when Michelle shows you how to do this, how to adjust the ribbon as well, because sometimes people kind of make the ribbon and they say, well, this is kind of too tight or it's too loose. But Michelle shows you a very clever trick on how to make the ribbon to your very liking.
Yeah, and so many of these videos as well, I was just thinking, they're transferable to not just garments. You can ribbing to hats and to gloves and to all these different things and different fabrics and gauge. That all applies to all different crochet projects, doesn't it? So this isn't, even if you haven't started garments yet and you don't even think you're ready to, that's fine. Just dip in and come and find the things that at the moment you're ready to listen and watch. And then build on that confidence, and then you will be ready to make garments at some point in the near future. And then to finish us off, we have the amazing Michelle from MJ's Off the Hook, who is talking about how to style your garments. When you actually make these things, you spend hours and hours and hours, and then how do you actually wear them? And I struggle with this sometimes. I'm like, I'll just put some jeans on, that'll look fine. Michelle is hilarious. So I got to do an interview with Michelle for this one. She was so funny. She was like, no, Hannah, you've got it all wrong. This is how you do it. And I was like, after we done, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
I mean, Michelle's the style queen of crochet garments and accessories, isn't she? Like when you
Definitely.
look through her Instagram feed or any picture she puts up, you're like, oh, I want this.
Yep.
I want to be in that picture. I want to wear this. Where did she get this? What is this? Tell me now. Tell me now.
Yeah, so she will walk us all through that, and it will help complete the whole thing, because we don't want you just to make them. We want you to wear them. We want you to enjoy them. We want you to then make more of them. We want this to be a big part of your life, and for something that you're not scared of doing, because there are so many people that avoid garments because they're scared of making them, and I was one of them not that many years ago. And now I design them and I wear them all the time.
Absolutely.
So yeah, come and join us. So that's it. I hope that's enough. I think that's enough, isn't it? And so,
I think so. I think we lured them in, don't you think?
yeah, I think so. And so the main thing to say is that if you would like to access the free version, you are very, very welcome to join us. That will be the 25th and the 26th of March. And each of those videos will premiere on the designer's YouTube, on the platform of their choice, which may or may not have advertising on them. And they will stay there for as long as those designers choose for them to stay there. They can take them down if they want to. So there's no guarantee that they will stay there forever. But there is another option, because that's a huge amount of content to get through in one weekend. If you're not available, or you want to rewatch things, or you just want it all together, we have put this all together in a course for you that you can purchase. Just for, there's just the 6-day window that we are running this for. It's already available. If you're watching this now, it's already on sale and you can get it. But once the summit has completed, it will not be available in this format again. So it's kind of a one-time deal. If you want it, all of the videos will be in there and they will be completely ad-free. You'll also get a course handbook. What else did they get? 15 patterns. 15
patterns. Yeah, we've got cheat sheets for you, just, you know, little extracts that you can download and keep, or even print them off. You know, we kept them quite nice and plain, so they're easy to print off if that's what you want to do. Put them in your little crochet folder to refer back to later. So yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I am so you know, excited about this, because all this content that we're going to share with you free, and the reason we're doing this, because we want to give you the confidence. You know, we really want to give you all the confidence, all the knowledge, all the power, everything. We want to share it with you, so you have got everything you need to crochet the garments. But as Hannah said, it is a lot of information to get through. It is a lot of stuff to kind of read through and watch in one weekend. So we do realize it might be a little bit intense. So that is why we are giving you this other option, to upgrade to the all access pass to the Crochet Garments with Confidence Summit. This will give you lifetime access. It will be there forever. You will always be able to access what you have paid for. You can do that at your own pace. You know, there is no time limit on anything. If you want to rewatch, you know, the washing video, you know, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, you can do so. If you maybe you'd want to work offline, this is another option we thought of. So you can download the course handbook, which contains all the information that we share in the videos. It's in the written format. So say you're going on a long train journey or bus journey, or, you know, somewhere where you might not have signal, you can download it to your device and look through it offline and study at your own pace. And once you learn all these amazing things, all this amazing information, we have got the pattern bundle. There is 15 patterns, there is garments, and we have included some smaller projects as well, didn't we, Hannah? There is smaller accessories, but they still kind of showcase different techniques and things you would have learned in the course. To just practice, you know, just give it a go, because it's all right, you know, watching people doing stuff and watching people talking about it. And sometimes I get that urge, don't you?
Yeah,
I get that urge. Oh, I need to try this. Give me hook, give me yarn. I need to try this right now. So that is why you will have the amazing pattern bundle that is worth over $100. But it's all going to come as part of the course, isn't it, Anna? And Hannah's got something fancy here. What is this, Hannah? Tell me this. What's this?
This fancy, I don't know where my hands need to go. This thing in the middle that says join the summit. This is where we need to click it, scan it. I don't know how it works actually. It's just a QR code, and that takes you to that page. that's the page that you need to bookmark. That's the page that you can, if you want to upgrade, you can upgrade and you can get the course and you can get it right now. You don't need to wait for any of these premieres to go live.
Nope.
So yeah, everything, hopefully it's all very clear as to what we're up to, what we're doing. But if anything doesn't make any sense, then just let Veronika and I know and we'll very, very happily help you. We've got no one to look after this weekend, so other than ourselves. So we can look after you. That's our job this weekend. So
absolutely, yeah. So we want to invite you in our living rooms, although it's virtually, but you are all invited. We'll make you a virtual cup of tea, sit you down and talk to you about crochet garments and how to make them with confidence all weekend.
Yes.